Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Finding You. My name is Riley Plogger. I am your host, and I am so excited to be here. I hope you're excited to be here because I am pumped. This is a project I've been working on for months now, and it's been nerve-wracking to get off the ground, but here we go. We're going to do this. We're going to put it out there, and I hope you guys like it because I'm really excited for what's to come. I think this project has the ability to help so many people just understand that we get it. Like, we know what you're going through. Other people are going through it too. And so let's talk, let's create open conversation and figure out how we can help each other just be in our freaking 20s. Like, goodness gracious, people keep asking me, "Oh, what's this podcast about?" And when I first came up with it, it was this super complex, like, oh, these identity complexes in our communities, and it's still all those things. But now when I explain it to people, I say it's about being in your 20s and trying to figure out who the hell you are. Like, that is what this podcast is about. So if you're here and you listen because maybe you follow me and we're personally related or whatnot, um, now you know what it's about. And I hope you're as excited as I am. We're going to have some really amazing guests on here. They are going to tell you their stories. I'm going to create an open space for them to be able to share exactly how much they want to about their personal lives and what they go through. But we're going to talk about just a range of things. And what really excites me about that is that I hope as you guys are listening, maybe you can relate. Maybe you hear a story. Maybe you have something going on in your life and you listen to something that one of my guests says and it just completely resonates with you, and you listen to this podcast and you walk away from it thinking, wow, like somebody else gets me. Somebody else gets what I'm going through, and this is what they went through or they're still going through. And I want to create that platform for us to relate to each other. Like, this life gets tough. We go through a lot of things as individuals, as people, as human beings. And it is so important for us to know that we're not alone in this life. It's so important for us to know that other people get us, other people see us, other people hear us. And so that's why I want to create this platform. I want to create this platform so you understand that you are not alone in this life. The other reason I want you to really listen to these guest stories and really hear them out, because even if you can't relate, I hope that it helps you understand. I want to create a platform where people come on here and tell their story. And even if you can't relate and you haven't gone through that, or, yet, or maybe you won't at all because it's just something that doesn't apply to you, I hope it can help you understand people that are different from you. I can create a platform where we're bonded more by how we're alike than how we're different. But when we do recognize how we're different, we still respect that and we still accept each other. So those are the two reasons I want you to listen. Those are the main two reasons I want you to listen, because I think, you know, these people that I'm going to bring on this podcast, I think they are amazing people. I think I'm not bringing anyone on here that I don't think, has an amazing story to tell. So why should you listen to me? My name is Riley Plogger. I am 24 years old. I grew up in California. I played college softball at Utah State, so I kind of bounced around a little bit there. Then I lived in Boise, Idaho for a year. That's a whole story in itself. And then now I'm living in northern Colorado. So I've lived in quite a few, states in the last couple years. I've bounced around. I've gone from college athlete to school district employee to now back to college athlete for one more year and getting my master's. So you can only imagine, in these now 6 years, starting from when I was 18 going to college and now at the age of 24, there's a lot. There's a lot in there. There is a lot in there. And just to give you guys a little snippet, not only is there so much I could talk about being a college athlete, just being a college student in general, moving away from home. I mean, that was a huge time in my life, figuring out who am I away from this hometown that I grew up in, away from my parents and my family who I'm close with. Who am I on my own? That is just a whole thing we're going to get into, because I got to tell you guys, that is tough. That is super tough. Along with being a college athlete, goodness, is there's so much there. There's so much there with that. There's so much as far as injuries and, you know, time management and stuff like that. Like that, I have gone through a lot of that, just to give you guys a little bit, um, part of that chapter of my life as a freshman in college, starting out trying to figure out how the heck to do my homework when there's all these other things going on. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't really do my homework, and it got me into some trouble a little bit, as far as figuring out, like I said, who I was away from my hometown. I left to college with a hometown boyfriend, and did a long distance relationship for a year and a half, and came back home one semester with a girlfriend. So just giving you guys a little bit of a look into what it is I have to offer to this podcast, and what it is I have to um, relate to you guys about. There's so much going on in my life now. Those were that was years ago, and now in my life, as I'm finishing up a year of college after being in the working world as a full-time adult for a year. So now I'm coming back to college and dealing with all that. And I'm getting ready for another transition out of college back into the working world. So again, there is just so much I'm excited to share with you guys. This podcast is really focused on my guests, but what's really exciting is there are going to be some guests that I can really relate to. And throughout those episodes, you're going to get to hear a little bit of my story as well. So I'm really excited for that opportunity. I'm really excited for you to hear me relate to these guests. And maybe if you don't resonate completely with my guest story, you'll relate with a little bit of mine. So I just can't wait. I can't wait to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of how this podcast is going to work. We're going to be releasing episodes every other Monday. They'll drop at midnight. So when you guys wake up in the morning and you're heading to go work or work out or go to school, whatever it may be, I want you to start your Mondays every other Monday with Finding You. I want you to start your Mondays. That would be awesome. I think it would be a great opportunity for you to hear people's stories, for you to relate, for you to understand the people around you. Okay, I keep talking about what exactly I have in store for you. Well, here it is. In 2 weeks, I'll be releasing my first interview episode with Savannah Janquish. She is a 4-time All-American softball player at LSU. She has been graduated for a few years now, so you can only imagine, the things we're going to dive into as far as what all she went through, what was going on behind the scenes as a 4-time All-American at LSU, as she's in the race for national championships, as she's breaking records. What in the world was going on in her world outside of that? And then we're going to talk about her post-collegiate experiences. We're going to talk about her chasing her pro career. We're going to talk about her playing for the USSA Pride. We're going to talk about her playing for Athletes Unlimited. And we're going to talk about her trials with different national teams. Guys, I am pumped about this episode. She is an awesome human being. She is somebody who works harder than almost anyone I know. And so I'm really excited for you to have this exclusive look behind the scenes of a top tier athlete in our country. It's definitely an episode that you should listen to. Like I said before, if you don't think you can relate, goodness, I encourage you to listen to understand this strong, powerful woman in the sporting world. I promise you, it'll bring such a cool perspective. And I just cannot wait. I don't know how many times I've said that. I'm going to listen back to this episode, and I'm going to find some words that I say a lot. I create a poll on Instagram, and we're going to play a drinking game with how many times I repeat the same things over and over. All right, you guys, that is today's episode. That is just a quick look into what is to come with this podcast, or what is to come with finding you. I know you're excited. I can feel it. I can feel it on the other side right now that you're excited after listening to this episode. I know I am. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Take care of each other.